We got a good story right here. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here we go. A social worker admits to preying on a 13-year-old student. Social worker preyed on a student under her care. Oh yeah, check it out.
Put her up for a mass.
Here she is.
According to the report, preyed on a 13-year-old child.
Wow.
The social worker has been identified as Peyton Shirez. She allegedly engaged in sexual relationships with a child, okay? In Columbus, Ohio, the child was 13. Her social worker license was issued this past June. Keep a picture up.
Let's show it one more time, shall we?
Of what we talk about on Indisputable as it relates to stories like this. Individuals who will engage in this kind of violation typically try to affix themselves into a position of trust in order to engage in this kind of violation. Mm-hmm. Columbus Division of Police SWAT team, they took her into custody on Friday. Shirez was charged with having unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, third-degree felony. However, police said that additional charges would likely be added.
Ooh.
According to the Franklin County court records, the teen's mother called the police on September 27th after finding text messages between her son and the social worker. In the messages, the social worker allegedly posed a question to the teen if he had, quote, deleted the videos, end quote. And if his mother had, quote, seen the videos or messages, end quote. The teen's mother turned the phone over to the officers who responded to the call. The social worker reportedly admitted to having the encounter with the teen on a three-way call between her, the teen's mother, and detectives. So an admission is logged for the record. She appeared in court Saturday, had a bond set of $500,000.
$500,000. $500,000.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, monsters come in all shapes and sizes, right?
Yep.
All colors too. All gender.
That's right. And let that be noted, ladies and gentlemen, creeps don't just come from males. Oh no. You think it, sometimes you might walk down the street like, oh my God, that guy's a fucking definite creep. He's a sicko. But sometimes the creeps come from the least likely forms and shapes. Maybe the outstanding police officer, maybe the pastor, maybe the basketball coach, or the little league coach, or the teacher, or maybe the mailman, the UPS driver, or the top-notch lawyers who's got a nice fancy suit, a yacht, a car, a nice house, nice family, picket fence, all that stuff. Oh, you think that guy's outstanding, but he might harbor some dark secrets. And another thing, before we continue with, creeps also come in the form of females. Yeah, they certainly do.
There are some who are going to say, and Doc, they do this every time we do a story like this, that, well, there's no issue. He's a male and this is a nice-looking female. No, this is a child.
This is a
and
child.
That's an adult.
A minor.
The psychological
13 years
trauma
old.
that this child will endure can't be determined in this very moment. I mean, the damage permeates over time. And Doc, I want you to speak to that because your profession.
Yeah. And another thing is as well, too. I mean, she was 24, 13. When I was 13 years old, I barely knew how to hold hands and kiss a girl, let alone have a girlfriend. No way in my mind would go into that twisted sexuality fantasy. No way in heck. I mean, when I was 13 years old, I mean, I've had some girls I had a crush on. Like, oh, she's cute. I'd like to be her boyfriend. She'd be my girlfriend. I'd like to take her to the dance or the prom. Never would I thought 13 years old, oh, I'd like to take her to bed. No way. No way.
Studies these things over time. Yeah. So you have this context that we may not. So explain the danger and the adverse psychology connected to predators like her, who allegedly has admitted to the crime,
Yeah.
and what they do to individuals who are children under their watch or authority.
Well, it's really highlighting a blind spot, I feel like. I was thinking that when you were talking about the story, which is to say that we have a really developed method for catching male clinicians who are predators on female patients, very often, sometimes male patients. That came out of the 60s and 70s, this idea of a boundary violation. There are entire courses, professional things. I mean, it comes out of this history of psychoanalysis, which talked about the erotics of clinical encounters. And so men, we have a whole regulatory apparatus around men who prey on women, which is still, I would guarantee you, a much, much bigger problem. When we see women who do this kind of thing, it's very sensational. We also see, for example, teachers who prey on students.
Case in point, Mary Kay Letourneau.
Often appears like this story in places like the New York Post. And so what's the story we're telling? Is it that there's more female-driven sexual abuse than we realize? If that's true, we should get an assessment. I would guarantee you that the trauma on the kids is pretty much going to be the same. This is sexual abuse. I agree with you, regardless. But it does highlight, I think, really a blind spot, which is what about when the gender roles are reversed? It changes the power dynamic. I would bet that it's harder for our society to see something like this because it doesn't play to the narrative that we've all been trained into seeing.
Yep. And that becomes, in a way, the societal limitation of the real impact this may have on a young person because of our restrictive understanding. We then project that on everyone else as if this is not a big deal. This is a huge deal. All right. This is evil to prey on a child.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear it now after I dropped this news story and fellow Cook gets a win and it's like, oh my God, here it goes like that. This is a news media story. And it's a good education like that to let you know that sometimes creeps come in the least likely forms or the people you may know. And especially the form that sometimes a creep is a female, like I just did. Anyways, I'm going to munch out. Peace out.